tomorrow. You know it's not enough that I can make you laugh. Why try to borrow even more time you never have? It's too late, too late, too late, too late. Slide down the rooftop, slide down the rooftop. It's too late, too late, too late, too late.
Welcome. Good evening. We are here for more free live tarot readings. How is everybody doing? So good to see everybody. Blah, thank you for your donation. Zara, thank you for your donation as well. So what's going on, everyone? D. Dave, welcome. Wonderful Land, hello. Diane, welcome back. What is going on? CM, welcome. Bartman, Susan, everybody's here tonight. We got a rockin' party in the house over here. Where's my sound effect? We'll do a sound effect night. Where is it at?
It's 6:30. Time for the Tarot Oracle Show.
There we go. So Blah is looking for another house. Let's see how that is going to go. See how that is going to go. Zara, the future at work, will get you covered. All right. In the meantime, let's see about D-Day. Thank you for your donation as well. All right. What are we going to do for this one? I think that this one calls for the whatever this one is. Not the land, the something, the woodland something. I don't know. I don't remember the name. I have too many tarot decks, so I don't remember the names anymore. Anyway, this is a newer tarot deck that I did trim. Oak, Ash, and Thorn. That is it. Exactly. CM, just another dull day. Well, CM, I did do your idea for the card today. So I'll put it on Instagram tomorrow. I think I put it on YouTube today. So there we go. All right. Just another day in paradise, it sounds like. So what are we going to do here with all of these goodies? Let's see. Will everything be okay with buying the house in Harrow? The Fool, the Chariot, and the Nine of Pentacles, and the King of Swords. I do think so. I think that you have some level of control. We have a degree of control for this. Paula and Boo Boo, welcome. How are you doing? You do have a degree of control of this. We are sort of moving into the King of Swords territory. The King of Swords says, I have command, I have control over this. So it's going to be a benefit to you because you have the upper hand, as they say, in this negotiation, the King of Swords. And I think you're due to have the upper hand as well. Speaking of hand, no, yeah, a little bit, not too bad. But yeah, the King of Swords says, let's go for it and do that. You do have a double movement card on it. So I think you are going to move on this. So everything is going to be okay. I don't see anything wrong. There's nothing bad here. The Fool and the Chariot. I think that you do have some hesitations from doing it. Yeah, we do have some hesitations here. The Fool says we're running into an unknown. We're maybe running off a cliff. We don't really know what we're doing, but we are sort of moving into a space where we have some unpredictability sort of built into the whole thing. So the Fool does have a little bit of unexpected, sort of weird encounter type feel to it. So the Fool sort of, go in there. The Chariot says we're going to continue moving, but we feel a little more comfortable now, feel a little bit more comfortable. It's doing pretty good, not doing too bad. And the Chariot says, let's keep moving on it because it doesn't look half bad at all. Now, here's sort of the key card that says it's not going to be too bad. It'd be okay. The Nine of Pentacles, obviously entertainment purposes only. Nine of Pentacles is a fantastic card. It talks about stability. It is the end of the suit of the 9. The 10 is sort of almost a new beginning feel because it is a 1 when you do numerology with it. But yeah, the 9 of Pentacles says it's the end of the suit. Everything is going to be fine. You're going to be okay with it. It's looking pretty good. 9 of Pentacles, money well spent. Now, you remember in my book, I talk about the 7 of Pentacles versus the 9 of Pentacles. What's the difference? The 7 says I'm investing in something and hoping for the best. The 9, everything worked out. So all the investment I did, all the work that I did with it ends up actually literally working out. 9 of Pentacles says we have a lot of good things coming and a level of control, a degree of control with that as well. Always makes it better. So that's looking pretty good. I gotta say, I would have loved a Hermit in there, sort of you settling in and being good with all of that, but I just didn't get it. So that is okay. That is all right. D-Dave, thank you for your other donation. I appreciate both of your donations. Zara wants to know work, future at work. Let's see about that. Let's see. Zara. Work future, how is that going to go? So what would be a good deck for a work future? I'm thinking the Anna K. It has been a hot minute since I've done anything with the Anna K Tarot. We got to whip it out, no pun intended, today. See, my hand's doing better. I can actually shuffle with it today. So it's doing better when I can shuffle with it. That is all that you need in life is a shuffleability hand. If you have that, everything else works out. By the way, I got my cloth prototypes in. So we got the cloth samples. I'll review the cloth samples after this couple of reads here, but I'm kind of interested in what is your take on it. I know what my take is, but I want to know your take on it. So I need your opinion on some cloth. Okay. Now, the work future, we do have a bit of boxed in feel at work, like we can't really get to where we're going, can't really figure out what is our future here. We have all sorts of sort of holdups with this particular thing as well. Toonie Tarot, thank you for your donation. I appreciate that. Diane, I took a header. Okay, but yeah, the 9 says we are sort of boxed in with that. The ace does say that we have different opportunities sort of in line. I don't think they're anything major. I don't think it's anything where you can just sort of sneak out of where you're at. It's almost like opportunities that you'd love to have, but you just can't get to. You just can't reach them. It's almost like it just is not something that you can get to and find. You are limited as far as making money. There seems to be a little bit of a money-making thing. It's almost like that you've asked for maybe a raise. We've asked for something at work and we're not getting what we need. And again, we still feel a bit boxed in. It's in the whole read, we just feel boxed in here. We feel boxed in here. I mean, oddly, these are like the only 2 cards we actually boxed in, and you got both of them. So it's kind of odd with that. All right, Mimsy, what is going on? So good to see you. I appreciate everybody hanging out with me today. How are you doing tonight? Hope everyone had a fantastic Thanksgiving. Okay, let's ask the cloth question. All right. We'll take a break here. We'll ask the cloth question. So we have 2 types of cloths. We have the super thin cotton satin. It's really, really thin, but the graphics look great. Or we have a thicker cloth. Look how thick that is. It feels velvety and luscious, but it's designed for furniture. So you could read 10,000 times on this thing and it's going to look brand new still. So do you want a thicker cloth that is designed for furniture that feels velvety and soft? Or do you want a thin cloth that is crystal clean on the images? Let me know. I'm kind of curious what everyone thinks. What type of cloth would you like? What is that for? That's for my new deck. I'm creating a cloth. It's going to be a 15-inch by 15-inch cloth. And you can order it on the Kickstarter. It only costs $10. And it's going to be pretty nice cloth, I got to say. I'm going to work on it until it looks beautiful. And I am OCD as hell. So when I say I'm going to work on it till it's beautiful, I'm going to sit there and just mess with it. It doesn't matter if it takes me the next month. It's going to look beautiful. So I don't know. Do you want a thick cloth, or do you want a really thin cloth? And I think thick. It's not like a like a curtain or something. It's just a little bit thicker, but it's nice and velvety and lush, and it feels like high quality. And but the graphics are a little bit fuzzier, just a little bit. Anyway, we got thick. Everybody likes it thick. D-Dave wants thin, and everybody else wants thick. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Well, let me know what you want. I can only print one style, but let's see about that. All right, now we're doing it D-Day, by the way. You were right, PC, no call, no show. Ever reconcile? Reconcile or no? DD, reconcile. Not really sure. CM, thick like a mat would be better. It's not like a mat, but it is velvety and soft, and it feels luxurious. It does. It really does. And it's designed to be used every day for 10 years. It's still going to look brand new. You know what I mean? It's still going to look brand new. So anyway, we reconcile. They didn't show up. No call, no show. And they just didn't. And now we're going to reconcile. All right, everybody wants thick. All right, Destiny, thank you for your subscription. I appreciate that. Sunflower likes it thick. That's what I'm talking about. All right, reconciliation, Page of Cups, Ten of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Wands. Basically, no. It's like a lost cause. It really feels like a lost cause at this point. It feels like that the Page of Cups, there's just sort of an emotional insecurity with this other person. They're just not ready for making up. They're just not ready for sort of moving forward. They're not a moving forward kind of person. They want something that's going to be convenient for them. They really don't care what other, what other kind of things that happen. They really don't concern themselves. They just have the Page of Cups. Are very emotionally immature with that. The Ten of Pentacles is the happy family. It is the happy reconciliation. It's being upside down, along with the Ace of Pentacles, the start of something stable, new, something that is going to be stable, rock solid, where you can be there and be good. That's upside down as well. The only thing that we have is the Ace of Wands, where we're just chasing our tails at this point. So I don't know. I just think we're just you're just chasing the tail. Basically, yeah. I don't really see that being any huge benefit. No, basically reconciliation looks, obviously you can, if both parties want to reconcile, you can reconcile. But again, we have the immaturity of this other person. We have the chasing our tail aspect. We have a lot of negative cards here that sort of point to maybe this is not something we want to spend a ton of time with. Is the upholstery fabric harder to clean? I don't think so. I will run it through the washing machine. As I do my laundry, I will run it through the washing machine every time I do a load of laundry. So by the time I ship, I will have washed that piece of sample cloth probably like 10, 15 times. So I will tell you then exactly how it fared with 10, 15 washes. So there you go. Or I might take it to the laundromat and put it in there and just put it on brutal mode. You know what I mean? Take it to the laundromat, just put way too much detergent in it, put it on like high spin, high heat, and see how it fares. And that'll be kind of interesting. Zara, thank you for your other donation. I appreciate that. Toonie Tarot, what is your question? Did you already post that? But you know me, CM, you know me by now. I'm going to abuse it to no end, just like I did with all of my card samples. I'm going to abuse it until it's broken, and then I'm going to say, it fared pretty good. So you know me, CM. You've seen enough videos to where me just like stabbing cards and stuff like that. All right, new idea. Be successful. Miss M, I thank you for your donation. Samantha, thank you for yours as well. I appreciate that. All right, let's go with D. Dave again. By the way, if you're new here, you have not seen me abuse things. Every time that I create a tarot deck, I will get it and run the thing through. I'll run it through the dishwasher. I'll stab it with a knife. I'll try to peel it. I'll hammer it into the table with a literal hammer until I'm satisfied with the quality of the cards. I do not ship you anything that I have not thoroughly abused to no end. So if I'm going to make a cloth, a tarot cloth, I will wash it, I will rip it, I will tear it, I will stab it, I will make sure that this thing looks amazing and you're getting the absolute best, because you're not going to get shipped anything that is not primo quality. All right, let's see. Dark Mansion. Toonie Tarot, you get the Dark Mansion indeed. New idea building the site. Will it be successful? We have a new idea. Asa, you're pretty excited about it. You are pretty excited about it. No, CM, I won't do that with my laundry. I'll just do that with anyway, Ace of Cups says you are thrilled. You are excited about it. You are ready to go with this idea. I think you're going to do it anyway. Is this a great idea? It's going to be a lot of work. The idea will be a lot of work. There's a lot of implementation involved, a lot of logistics involved, and you may end up needing some help. You may end up running into some obstacles. The Five of Wands, this is not going to go smoothly. That's just not a project that's going to go silky smooth. It's not going to be as silky smooth as this Chi-Chi furnishing cloth. It will not be this silky smooth, but you will run into sort of some things on the way. The Nine of Cups is overall you're going to be pretty satisfied with the results. Is the money going to be here? Is the money going to be there? That's what we want to know. Page of Pentacles says not really. It's not like you're just going to get loaded up. You're not just going to get this big ka-ching and, just like winning the lottery or something. Just not going to feel that way. The Page of Pentacles says we have a little bit of frustration as far as getting money, getting income. And I think it goes a little too slow for your liking. Is this going to be something fun and great that you can really have a good time with? I mean, that's where you sort of should be spending your time anyway, right? Obviously, if you're going to do this, if it's not a big investment, if you're going to have this much fun, Ace of Cups is you're thrilled, you're excited about it, you can be losing sleep, you have all sorts of cool ideas to hook into this idea. Nine of Cups is I have a lot of things I'm giving out that are great. I have a lot of satisfaction from it. Not only that, but the cups are there on a display for other people to take. So I think you have a giving aspect to this as well, and I think that's going to feel really good. Tough to implement, tough to get money, but a lot of fun. Basically, that's it. So, prioritize as such. Prioritize as such. Yes, CM, I'll get all of these cloth samples and I'll put it into the washer and I'll just dump quite a bit of really the worst detergent I can find, like bleach, the worst detergent I can find. I'm just going to put it on high heat and, see how it fares. See how it fares, because I'm not going to ship you anything that won't survive that. I'm sorry. All right. Future direction of career, or should I just throw in the towel? Toonie Tarot, you already throwing in the towel? Is this a thing? Are you ready just to give it all up? Give it all up and just sort of sit at home? We'll see about that. By using, speaking of my tarot, we just use Waterfall Tarot. We will use the Dark Mansion as you have requested. We get a little Dark Mansion in there. Very busy getting all this stuff done. There you go. Leela, I'm doing fantastic. How are you doing? Is the print for the cloth Curly Buff? Yes. I have not designed it yet, but I will be designing a cloth for my new tarot, Curly Buff. You can see my new tarot on Instagram, or I posted a few cards to the channel as well. So you can scroll through my updates and see all that stuff. I also have a video coming out this weekend with a status update with all the new cards. So there's going to be a cloth basically with all the characters that appear in the tarot. So there you go. Let's see how this is going to go. Are we going to retire? Any direction, anything that we should be focusing on? Eight of Swords and the Page Wands. We have a lot of restrictions. I don't know. I mean, as far as the career goes, as far as the direction goes, it's like you don't have a lot of choices. You don't have a lot of options. There doesn't seem to be a lot of expansion room. I think that you have a level of enthusiasm and a level of dedication to this. D-Dave, thank you for your other donation. I appreciate that. I think you have a level of enthusiasm, a level of dedication to this, but there is the problem of finding work, finding some decent work, finding a good place and sort of a good work place where you can be satisfied, you can go there and all of that stuff. I think you're actually hitting this point where there's more frustration than anything else. You try to implement what you need to do and it just sort of, it just sort of runs out of steam. And you just have sort of a lot of difficulty with that. The Page of Wands, it brings messages, but it also tries to get some activity, tries to get some movement forward, and it just sort of stalls out. It's like a reversed Chariot card in many ways. Eight of Swords says it's because you don't have the freedom that you need, right? We don't have the freedom that we need. We don't have the expansion possibility. We don't have a lot of different things that were sort of required at this point with the career. And I think it's just because we've been in there so long, or it's just because we just don't have the proper boss, the proper motivations and things like that. So the expansion is sort of stuck with that. The Five of Wands says that it is going to be pretty easy going. It's not like that you're just hitting a wall. You do have still that you can work. You can continue going. It's not like that you're just hitting a complete dead end. Again, it sort of feels, it has that feel of I can just keep riding the train. And I think that's where you're at. We're just going to keep riding the train and see where it takes you. Overall, retirement doesn't look like that. Four of Swords is the resting card. It is sort of the retiring card. It is upside down. It feels like resting is not a good thing. Sort of riding the train to the end seems okay at this point. It seems like that you'd be better off working. You would feel more satiated working and sort of getting in that. If you can't get the positions that you want, the expansions that you need, that's going to be okay. Still getting paid. At the bottom of the day, at the end of the day, you're still getting paid. Here we go. What else do we have? By the way, news is coming up on Monday. We got news. We got a lot of stuff to review. Can I get an Italian residence and stay for always? All right. Zara wants to know about Italian residences. Let's see about that. Italy residences. See if we can get that. Rodney needs some rest. There you go, Rodney. Take a break. Get some of that Four of Swords action in there. Nothing says rest and relaxation like hanging out on the stream. You know what I mean? Sunflower, thank you for your donation. I appreciate that. Denial, how's she really feeling about it? So Tabby dumped Fernando. Well, hopefully not because I said. Hopefully they know this is entertainment purposes only. Hopefully they didn't dump him just because I said so. Hopefully they didn't dump him because I'm asking for thick or thin cloths and stuff like that. You never know, though. You just never know why people dump anybody else. All right. Let's see about this. Italian residences. Is this going to be a thing? And stay for always. Can I get it? Can I stay for always? Yeah, it looks kind of challenging. I think this is something that you definitely want to do. The Knight of Cups and the Ace of Cups. You're sort of tied to this. You feel like that this is sort of the place I want to be. I want to relax. I want to chill out. This is a place that it would be nice for me to sort of hang out and just be there, right? The Knight of Cups, Mr. Romance. I think you have a lot of good possibilities, a lot of good things sort of waiting over there. And it would be great to sort of get that. Now, Ace of Cups says you do want to go on that adventure and at least give it a apply, give it an application and see how is it going to go. But as far as sort of, can I get it? Can I stay forever? I don't see anything that could resemble that. Like the Hermit would be a great one. Four of Wands would be fantastic. Anything that sort of shows that we're settled in, we're over there, we're moving or anything like that. I have no movement cards at all. It just feels like we're sort of at a dead end here. The Knight of Wands says we do a lot of work but don't get a lot of results. So you're filling out this paperwork, you're applying, you're not really getting anything moving, nothing really going. Eight of Swords has a restriction. So we're applying, but there's something that is making us not be able to get it. There's something with the application. There's something with our credentials or something else that's sort of preventing us from moving in that direction. So there you go. It does feel like no, basically. It's just sort of a long way to say no. All right. Let's see what we got going next. We got Ms. M, my cap guy, his current feelings. What is going on? Oops, I pressed the wrong button. I've not used that tarot in a hot minute. It has been a minute since I used that one. All right. Cap guy, what are his feelings? Did you share Thanksgiving with a cap guy? I'm just saying. I want to use that deck there. I'm not even sure where it is. I'm not even sure where in the world that thing is, which is kind of bad. Oh, here it is. All right, it has been a long hot minute since I have used this tarot deck, but let's go for it. Let's go for it. Philippe, how are you doing? Indeed. Nate, welcome. Lily, welcome as well. Thank you for your donation, Lily. Little Peach, the pandemic is causing all kinds of problems. It seems to never end. You ever notice we're always in the middle of the pandemic? We're never at the end of the pandemic. We're never at the beginning of the pandemic. We're never at the 2/3 points of the pandemic. We're in the middle of a pandemic. Every time, the middle of a pandemic. I say that we're at the end of the pandemic because they supposedly shipping these vaccines out soon. So I say we're near the end. At least I'm hoping, you know. Christian, thank you for your donation. I appreciate that. I don't know, but he's too closed off. You know, let's see about that. Three of Swords says he's closed off because he really doesn't want to deal with something. I mean, it seems that there's something introduced into the relationship that he doesn't want to deal with. He's just like, you know, ain't nobody got time for that. It just feels like the Three of Swords is ain't nobody got time for that. Whatever is sort of hovering around, it just feels like he just doesn't have time, doesn't want to deal with that. Queen of Pentacles, he has a lot of stuff going on, a lot of stuff to do, so it sort of feels like that. No, he's sort of balancing it out, right? He's balancing it out, saying, well, you know, I could do this, I could do that, we could contact, we could do this, but it just feels like that there's some, you know, prioritization that needs to happen to get the Queen of Pentacles back to where it needs to be, which is pretty good. Work, the Three of Pentacles, again, is being a distraction. Again, a lot of projects going on. Still feels pretty good about you. We got the Hierophant. It does feel like the seriousness of the relationship is sometimes really prevalent and it's really a good topic, and this is where I really want to be. Other times, you know, maybe the relationship is a little more casual, but it seems to be flipping between these two realities, right? Three of Swords says overall, you know, they're pretty happy with it. We have the flowering, we have the Queen of Pentacles. They're okay with it. It just feels like sometimes it's really super stable. Other times it's not stable. It feels more like a casual thing. So, you know, sort of back and forth many times as we sort of run along with this. So current feelings are pretty good. Just very busy and, you know, sort of wavering on the stability markers there. All right, let's see about this. What do we got? We got deals on Kobo readers and audiobooks. I don't care. I've got so many readers, man. All right, let's see about Samantha. Will Chris and I reconcile as friends? Let's see about that. Sam? Friends with Chris. Let's see how that is going to go. Is that going to be a thing? Speaking of Chris, Kristen, what is going on? All right. Miss M, thank you for your other donation. I appreciate that. Let's go with some feeling of an Encore Tarot. Encore Tarot. That's all we need in life. That's all we need in life. Kristen, will I get a better job opportunity? That's, speaking of which, that is what you need to do. That sounds like a plan. All right, we got you in the queue. By the way, in case you're wondering where we are in the queue, we are over here. All right. In case you're wondering where we are at in the queue, here it is. We are on Samantha, and then we are going to go down the line from here. All right. Let's see about this. Friends with Chris. Chris was the Virgo? Was Chris, you got to help me. Sam, you got to help me. Was Chris the Virgo? Is that something? Is that a thing? Was Chris the Virgo or not? Paula, welcome. What is going on? And who else joined that I didn't see before? I don't know. We got a couple people that joined. Sorry if I'm ignoring you. I'm just deep in here. Deep in here. What is the name of the previous deck? I don't use it enough. I have no idea. I don't remember. It's on the channel. Go through the 4K flip throughs and it'll be on there. I don't exactly remember the name of that deck. It has been a long time. I'm getting too many tarots to where I actually can't remember, like 150 or something. Anyway, Friends with Chris. Was Chris a Virgo? You have several Virgos. Indeed, you collect them. That's right. The Friends with Chris, is this going to be a possibility? Ten of Swords says absolutely not. No. It doesn't look, it looks like there's going to be a real problem with that. It looks like Chris has sort of moved on. Chris has other things to do. Chris doesn't really see that as a big possibility. Obviously, entertainment purposes only, but we have Death reversed. Death reverse says we want to move into a new stage. We want to get stuff started again. We want to move into 2.0, right? Death, we're expanding. We're getting into something different. We sort of killed off something. We have another opportunity. Death reverse says they're sort of moving on at this point. The Ten of Swords is a really heavy-handed cutting card. It says we slice and we cut, and it's sort of almost a permanent feel. Obviously, it's not going to be a permanent feel to every reading. This is not like a global card that always means that, but it's right after death. Death is reversed. And then we have the waiting card. It's like they want you to, it's like we want to wait for each other. We want to reconcile. We want to be in that spot. The Four of Swords says, I didn't wait. I moved on already. We've already moved on. I got the world. We're doing other things other than this. It just looks like it's going to be very challenging to sort of get back with that. Death into a perma-cutting card really sort of feels really bad. Death would be great if we do this because death says, let's cut out something and let's renew it maybe for the world. But death is reversed. It says, I don't really want to go through that process. I want to cut completely. I don't want to wait. I want to move on and get something else going on. So there you go. We have a definite Virgo moving on feel for that. Moving on feel for that. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. All right. Little Peach, messages from Spirit. Let's figure that one out. All right, LP. Messages. How is that going to go? The Illusory Tarot. There you go. Philippe knows it. Philippe knows it. The Illusory Tarot. That is correct. That is correct. It is. I do not use that at all. I have neglected that thing so much. You have no idea. What do I want to do? It's Friday. Let's hop into some new tarots. This is the Hobbit Tarot, by the way. In case you're wondering what this one is. It is the Hobbit, and you'll see, the Lord of the Rings Hobbit type feel. What messages from Spirit do we have for you tonight? What does the Spirit say that you would want to know? Maybe the Spirit says something you don't want to know. Maybe the Spirit's quiet. I'm assuming the Spirit has something to say. It has the Ten of Coins to say. The Hermit, yeah, it says you need help. It says you need some assistance. I think you're trying to take on something that's going to be a bit overloading for you, maybe a bit too much. It definitely says that you need a little bit of help here. The Hermit, don't go it alone. Don't go it alone. You have friends. You have family. Angel Moonlight Tarot, thank you for your donation. I appreciate you. You have friends, family. You have a support network. Make sure that you tap into those. You don't want to be going alone. The Hermit reverse says going alone is not going to be a good idea because we have some changes coming. We have a little changes coming. So we had death reversed on the last one. And we have death up, right, for this one. This is pretty good. Most people just don't like change, don't like death. Change is good. The Tower change is not so good. Death is pretty good. It means we're expanding. We're moving on to something a little bit different. Something's stopping, but something else is starting. And you see that you can get a support network through this change because going through this change by yourself may not be the best idea. Definitely want a support network as we roll through that. The Four of Cups says out of all the things that you've tried to get rid of, tried to balance out, tried to juggle, there's one thing that really stands out as something that you want through this process. And that is going to be something that you can have. The 10 of coins says it brings happiness. It brings some satiation. It brings a lot of good news with it. So if you're looking for something that you can have, it's possible to reach. It's not going to be a huge challenge. It's sort of around the corner, around the death, around the migration that we have to this next stage, right? And again, it's going to be something that you do want. 4 of Cups says, I'm getting something I don't want. I really think that you do want this. This is going to be something that's going to be powerful, and it's going to be good news for you. So there we go. Samantha loves this deck. Indeed, I did trim it. I did trim it because it begged to be trimmed. It's like a thoth. It begs to be trimmed. You got to trim a thoth. You know what I mean? All right. D-Dave has a huge question. Celestial, thank you for your donation. Let me know what your question is. So you and a handful of people have told lots of money to come, retired banker type money, had a dream, lots of bread. What type of work is going to lead to the retired banker? Okay, D-Dave wants to know the retired banker. You know, if we get the retired banker, that's actually going to be kind of funny, isn't it? That'll be a little bit funny. Retired banker. See what is going on with that. All right. Lily. I got Lilla. Okay. What are we going to use for that one? Let's go with everybody's favorite, the new deck, the Elemental Wisdom Tarot. Looking pretty good there. Pretty excited about the Elemental Wisdom Tarot. See how that is going to look and how is that going to be. It's getting cold here. It is indeed. It's supposed to be like 29 degrees here in Texas next week. So not looking forward to that one because I do go walking a lot outside and there's only so much you can bundle up before you look like the Michelin Man. You know what I mean? You look like the Michelin Man. You're sort of walking around. People are looking at you funny. It's like, why didn't you just, work out inside or something, which is probably what I should be doing. But there you go. Celestial, thank you for your donation. I appreciate you. Find an attorney. Because they're very complex. Okay, medical situation. There you go. What type of work is going to lead to the retired banker? It does seem it's going to be an organization, that is for sure. We have an organization. We have somebody making choices. We have options. We have sort of a good time with that. It just seems that you have some unique opportunity with an organization coming, something that you definitely didn't see coming, something that you have a bit of an unexpected thing come out. Ace of Cups says that, it's unexpected. It just sort of appears. Very interesting. 7 of Cups, it presents you with options. Now, the options are going to be pretty important because picking the correct option is going to be, where you sort of need to be with that. And picking that is going to be sort of a careful but productive way of sort of getting into this. But the 7 of Cups says somebody just presents you with something that you can't really refuse. And you do get some money out of it, right? The 2 of Swords, again, points to this unexpected feel for it, where all of a sudden it's just appears. You're just like, I had no idea that was sort of going to be there. It's just completely wild and unexpected, sort of unusual. The Hierophant says it is an organization. It is sort of a big company that you get this with, and they sort of need you for a period of time, and you get some pretty decent money out of it. So probably not lottery type money, but it's coming into some money. There's definitely a big difference between a major raise at a particular job versus, sort of a dead-end job where you're flipping hamburgers or something like that. I mean, there's definitely a substantial difference between the two realms. So again, it doesn't mean that you're going to win the lottery. It just means that you get a very stable and a sort of a rock solid and fun position with someone, with somewhere. There you go. All right. Sunflower dumped Tabby did the dumping. He sounded calm, almost in denial. Well, maybe he saw it coming. I don't know. Let's see. Boo boo and dumping. Speaking of dumping, how is keto going? Speaking of dumping, how is keto going? We use the thought for this because when you talk about dumping, you think of keto and then you think of thoth. You know what I mean? That is all you really need. I like it on the cooler side. I do like the cool weather. but I don't like the, sub-zero weather to where you feel like your face is going numb and you've only been outside like 3 seconds. I don't like that weather. Not a fan. Not a fan of those. Are we in denial? He was there. Oh, the lover. Look at that. You know, I think Fernando. I think Fernando was ready to move on anyway. Is what it sort of looks like. It's like, well, I was going to do it anyway, and I sort of saw it coming. This is not something that I'm pretty happy and content with anyway. So if it dies, then it dies. That's going to be found. That is how it's going to be. The lover looks so pretty and wonderful, but then we have sort of this exit. We just have this exit and a termination of it. And this is something that we sort of wanted anyway. So again, I think they were expecting it. They did sort of want it themselves. They didn't really want to bring anything up. They're still sort of processing it because they thought they would be doing the dumping. Fernando thought he would be the dumper instead of the dumpee, but that is the way that we go sometimes in life. Sometimes you're the dumper, sometimes you're the dumpee. It all depends on what day it is, I guess. But yeah, there is sort of this instability with the whole thing, and he's just like, yeah, I was kind of thinking about that anyhow, so this is not going to be too big of a deal. So I don't really see that anyway. Celestia, well, thank you for being here. I appreciate you hanging out with us and asking the questions and whatnot. It is good to have somebody new in chat always. And Lily, should let the Scorpio go, or can we be friends? Well, we can do it. You know what you want to do? We could do a throwdown for that. Friends or dump? Friends or dump? Friends, can we be friends? Can we be best buddies? Is this going to be a thing? Can you transition? It's that tricky transition to friendship. You have something, the minute the pants come off, the friendship thing gets awkward. You know what I mean? The minute those pants come off, now that friendship thing gets awkward when you start talking about that. It's like, wait a minute. Why are we talking about friends when the pants have been off? When we have, I assume when both people have the pants off. So when you have the mutual pants off, then the whole friends topic gets really awkward really quick. Monica, thank you for your donation. I appreciate you. How you can shift your career. There you go. Let's see about this. How's it going to be going here? Well, friends or dumpola? Can we be friends? Is this going to be a thing? Oh, no. Friends is a little awkward. It is a bit awkward here. We got to admit this here. First off, there is going to be a difficult transition for the friends thing entirely. There's going to be a thing where you just feel closed in. They feel closed in. They feel like the rules were already established, and now the rules are broken and things are kind of weird. We did a lot of work to get where we're at. We did a lot of an emotional investment. We did a lot of literal work. We did a lot of compromise. We sort of went the way of the good fight as we sort of get into that. And the friends topic really doesn't make us feel good at all, because now we sort of have to either start over with something else, start over with that, and now it's weird and unusual because we're trying to date somebody else, and then now we have this friend and we're not really sure what's up with the friend because we already took the pants off. The whole thing is just awkward and weird. The dump seems to be a better solution. Obviously, entertainment purposes only. Never dump somebody based upon a random fat man on YouTube reading tarot, right? But I'm saying dump. Dump looks a lot better. The friends gets really awkward really fast. So that's just what the cards say, at least. Very awkward very quickly. Do you want to live through that? Do you want to waste a lot of time with that? That's up to you. That is up to you. All right. Kristen, thank you for your donation. What was Kristen's question? Will I get a better job opportunity? Well, let's see. Let's see about the jobs and the work and the employment. All of the usual stuff where we make some cashola. We love the cashola. All right. Will I get a better job opportunity? Ooh, I know just the deck for this, the Gregory Scott. Gregory Scott is such a great deck, man. Oh, I emailed him twice and he didn't email me. He doesn't like me. I think he watched some of my videos and he said, that man is way, way too ugly for me to talk to. And, that was the end of that. And I did email him directly in the email where where people pay for readings. So I know he got it. Like if you have an email to where you make money off that email, you read everything that comes in that email address. I'm just saying. And he never replied. I think he probably went to my channel and he was like, that dude's way too weird. He does like money tricks on stream and stuff. I'm not going to talk to him at all. I think I'm going to dodge him. I'm going to dodge him like a running back in the NFL. All right. Kristen wants to know about a better job opportunity. Is that going to be a thing? 3 of Cups, the world, temperance. Will you get a better job opportunity? Well, number one, I don't see anything with pentacles in it at all. I see the world. It's almost like that you get settled in with where you're at. As far as some new magical job opportunity that opens up, the heavens open up and everything goes well, I just don't see that. I do see networking being a key part here. Not necessarily a new job opportunity, but possibly a promotion, possibly something that is expansive in the same type place, right? Maybe you have some other thing that opens up a little bit of a different role and it's going to be better off for you in the long run. That's sort of what I'm seeing here. It is about networking connections and definitely knowing the right people, and the right people get you in where you're at. The 10 of Wands, though, says that where you're at does feel a bit encumbered. It feels like you could have a better use of your time. Feels like people could be using your resources and your skills a little bit better, right? The 10 of Wands, we're really sort of encumbered where we're at. Networking connections will get you to the next stage where you do want to be at, but is about temperance, about being patient. It's sort of about just sort of, relaxing, looking in, being present, and seeing the opportunities or seeing anything that could come up as it comes up. Obviously, we can get promoted for having unique ideas. We can get promoted for having more initiative. We can get promoted for a lot of different things. So promotions will look pretty good overall. The world says you will get something better. But yeah, the world says there is better. But I don't see any pentacles. I don't see any just magical job opportunity where we go online, we hit the internet, and something is just there, sitting there, waiting for us to hop into it. It pays double. I just don't see anything like that, but it just seems to be sort of stay at one particular place and work your way up. Basically, it's what it seems to be saying. All right. And there we go. Universal, welcome. How are you doing tonight? We are here for some tarot readings. Ms. M, what if I reach out? What happens if I reach out and call someone? Ms. M, reach out. Is that going to be all right? Is that going to be something that's going to be decent? Is that going to have a good reception to that? Let's use the little whimsical, fun, playful heart tarot here. Try a little playful heart action. Speaking of fun and whimsical, man, I hope my deck is I hope people like my deck. I hope people like the deck of cards that I'm making right now, because I'm kind of curious. I have a mixed reaction, and so I'm kind of curious as to who is going to be in the market for that kind of thing. I don't know. We'll see. We will see in 2 weeks. Can we reach out and touch someone? Is it going to be a thing? Is that going to be an option? No. That looks bad. That looks a little better. That looks a little better. And that kind of looks bad. I would say no. We have the reach out and touch someone card, the 6 of Cups. We have someone that we want to reach out and touch. The 6 of Cups says you may want to wait a little bit on that. The 7 of Pentacles, again, we may want to wait on that. We do have a negative 10 of Swords here. This is that idea may not be the best one. The Knight of Cups says just sort of relax with it and go with it. The relax and chill method seems to be it. The Nine of Cups, have that love in our heart, sort of, have fun with it, have fun with this person. You don't have to reach out constantly. You can just let them breathe a little bit before we sort of dive in again. But the Nine of Cups is definitely sort of relaxed with that. And reaching out doesn't look good. It just doesn't look good. Reaching out, sort of want to take your time with that. Six of Cups is the connection reaching out card, and it is reversed. And we have sort of this termination card, just sort of you want to hold off on that idea. So there we go. All right. Angel, will I hear from my childhood friend soon? There you go. I have so many childhood friends I haven't heard of in literally forever. I looked them up on Facebook, and I haven't found any of them, but they have like really common names. So, all right, AMT. Childhood friend, or what's going on? He's mad. I thought I was cheating on him, something dumb in text. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, just, give him time to chill out. Got to get a little bit of that chill out action there. Got to get some chill out action going. We'll do the wheel for this. That'll be good. Childhood friend. Everybody likes a childhood friend. We should all reach out and find our childhood friends and see what they're doing. You know what I mean? See how they are doing. See what they're doing. So it's been 30 years. Oh my, you have changed. Well, yeah, it's been 30 years. Okay. Childhood friend, will we hear from them? Do we have communication? Do we have a nice Six of Cups action, Two of Cups action, Lovers action? Anything that would sort of indicate that sort of heading over. Maybe an Ace of Swords would be great. Well, we do have an Ace of Swords, and it is reversed. So it sort of points to a no. The Fool says that you should reach out and talk to them. We have two no's, actually. We have two no's, and we have a suggestion. Maybe you should reach out and find them or reach out and talk to them yourself. Ace of Swords is the communication card. It says, let's literally, talk to somebody. Let's get with them. And they're going to be calling. And the Ace of Swords talks about that initial communication and is reversed. Then we have the Six of Cups, which again is the connection with a childhood friend. It's literally a connection with a childhood friend. If you look at this in the Rider-Waite, they are two children and they are connecting. They're sharing a cup and whatnot. And because it's reversed, it says this person will not be calling. Ace of Swords, I'm not calling childhood friend. They're not communicating with us. Now, can we communicate with them and sort of open the lines of communication? The Fool says yes. The Fool says maybe we want to go on that adventure and try and see what is at the end of the rainbow and figure out, sort of where we're going to be at the end of all that. The Fool says definitely would be something where we can look them up and hunt them down. And the Ace of Wands says take that initiative and go forth and, give it a shot. I think it's going to work out pretty good, and it does look pretty positive at the end of the day. So, yeah, definitely take the reins, take the steering wheel, and do it, and try that out. I think you're going to be pretty receptive with that, but it looks like that they will not be calling. Okay, I keep pressing that button for some reason. It's because I have this thing on my hand. Will I be able to find an attorney to help me cut through medical situations? Okay. Celestial attorney. So will I be able to find an attorney? Okay. Obviously, entertainment purposes only. This is a tarot reading designed for entertainment. This is not legal advice. This is not medical advice. This is solely designed for just having fun on the internet, throwing down some cards and seeing what they see or seeing what they say. So, it's a yes or no question. Sort of, let's look at it in a little bit of a deeper aspect and sort of get some more clarity on that. I think that'd be pretty valuable here. All right. Obviously, again, entertainment purposes only. I don't want you to be talking to an attorney about the pesky tarot guy who gave you a reading. So let's cover those grounds pretty quick there. All right. The Hanged Man, Three of Swords, Nine of Swords, Moon, and Judgment. Judgment's a weird one here. It does end us on a positive note. So basically, yes, you will be able to find someone, but there's some trickery or there's some things involved that you sort of need to be aware of. The Hanged Man means that a lot of people are just going to flat out reject it. Something is weird with the situation. And not only is it complex, there's something red flaggish about it that that will cause people to say, whoa, how about no? So you do have some red flags embedded within this. So the Hanged Man says we have some red flags embedded within this that trigger some things that when you talk to the attorney, they sort of say, whoa, and they do a 3 of Swords action where there's sort of a heartbreak and they're like, I got rejected, even though I just want to hire somebody. And there's another aspect of this as well. The 9 of Swords says that some people will agree to it, not really knowing the full gamut of the depth and complexity of it, right? So if we can't sum it up in 3 sentences, chances are we're going to have to spend extra money or at least go on a search to find somebody who's qualified. I do think that you have people say yes, but you are going to ask follow-up questions to make sure they understand it, and they didn't understand it. So it's like, I want the business, I'll take your money, so sure, let's go. But then you ask a follow-up question, and it's like they don't even understand what the hell you're talking about. So now you're thinking, that's a red flag for me because they don't even understand the depth of what they're getting into. So now I'm going to have to go in there and just dig through all of this stuff, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. There's red flags for you as well. We got red flags for them, red flags for you. It's a complex situation. The whole thing looks like it's going to be a pain in the butt to sort of just get moving and get going with it. Now, the moon says that okay, at least as far as tarot goes, entertainment purposes only, the moon with judgment says that this is a process that could take a while. This is a process that could cost you some money. If you're going to pay for the attorney, if you're going to get the free attorney option where they take a percentage or whatnot, again, the combination of getting what you want is going to be difficult, and it's going to require a lot of time and a lot of hunting. It's almost like you have to expand your search beyond local attorneys into somebody that a little more specialty that's going to be there. But then again, there's an extra cost of somebody with the specialty that's going to be a distance away due to them driving back and forth and whatnot. But it's almost like your immediate area, you just keep running into dead ends, or you're running into people that'll just take the business and just take your money, basically. Judgment says ultimately you're able to launch this. Now, this is a long process, not really due to the complexity, but due to the person that you're suing, basically. So this is a long, arduous process. So now you're thinking, do I just cough up the money? I don't really have that much money. Attorneys cost $1 gazillion. Do I go, what is it, ad libum? No, ad libum? What is the percentage? And again, that's going to be difficult too. The whole thing is a mess. Whole thing is messy. Can you find someone? Yes. Will you have to search longer? Yes. Will you have to deal with people that are literally trying to take your money? Yes. Will you have people that reject you? Yes. Is it going to take time, effort, strategy, and a good working set of strats to get going? Yes. And again, you may have to expand out beyond where you're currently at. Can you find an attorney? Judgment says yes. But again, we have all of the complexities previously mentioned, and there you go. What is it? Pro se? Pro se? Okay. All right. Yes, an expert. Yeah, and the other thing is they need to get somebody that is a consultant that knows that type of medical situation, because they're an attorney, not a physician. So now they need to ask other people and get other people to testify. The whole thing is a mess. All right. But yes, you can't, the answer, yes. A lot of work. You have to expand your range, and you have to find somebody that's going to be able to take it, that's not just going to rip you off. Shift into success. There you go. Will we be able to shift into success? Or what do we need to do to shift into success? We'll go with this one. I think the Mons Tarot is our key here. By the way, we are ending soon, sort of wrapping it up over here. A little bit of wrapping up. Katori Jade, it has been a minute. How are you doing? Good to see you. Jay Silk came in as well. Good to see both of you. All right. Let's see what we're doing. I've been so buried in the readings, I haven't really looked up at chat much. It's been a lack of chat day. Let's see. We want to find out, what do we need to do to shift into prosperity and success? Win the lottery, of course. Well, other than that, what can we do? Ace of Wands says you do have direct control over this, but you have a little competition with that. I mean, we have direct control over this, but it is something to where you have to touch people's emotions and motivations rather than their logic side of their brain. Well, the left side is the logic side, right? You have the left side, then you have the creative side. You need to tap into the creative. Tap into the creative. Innovation. Finding these innovations that get people excited, get people motivated. They're all like, whoa, that's a really good idea. I've never really thought about that. Let's sort of get there and do that. Ace of Wands says that you have to end up doing something yourself in order to shift into that success thing. But we have emotions. We have the Ten of Cups. We have to motivate people. You have to get on people's motivational side and get them thrilled about something and excited about something. It's about selling something. And it could be a creative venture, right? Maybe you have an idea that could save people hundreds of hours a month. Everybody has ideas. Why can't you get an idea, get somebody excited about it, come up with it, get it implemented, and then get a lot of people really, you're that person that comes up with the ideas. You're that person that finds innovative ways to solve problems, and people come to you for that, and now you're sort of just known for that, right? Seven of Wands says it's not going to be an easy venture, though. You do have a lot of sort of competition, or you do have some either resentment, or you have people that are just not going to be motivated with certain things. And you're going to have a bit of a struggle, as you can see here, sort of getting into that mode. Six of Wands says overall you can be successful with it. Again, you be that person that moves through the obstacles and gets a lot of things done, innovative, great things done. You move through, you get people excited about stuff, and you are innovative, and you find creative ways to do things that other people have not thought of. And then, people sort of enjoy that. So if you're looking for ways to shift into success, that would be it. You become that person that people go to for that type of stuff. And if you have that, then other people, obviously entertainment purposes only, but you'll see that in companies too. You'll see that like somebody just comes up with something that saves 1,000 man hours. And all of a sudden everybody's like, this person appears on all of these places, and they're sort of known as somebody that gets success, that brings in success, that brings in stuff like that. There you go. All right. Last reading of the evening is Lynette. Lynette donated, and I'm scrolling around trying to find Lynette's question, and hopefully I can find Lynette's question. Lynette, are you still here? Did you post your question? Or do you just giving oh, there we go, a baby. Lynette wants to know about a baby. We just did pregnancy readings too. By the way, if you aren't subscribed, you need to be subscribed. We just did a 30-minute video on how to do a pregnancy reading. 30-minute video on how to do a pregnancy reading, because you just don't want to know about a pregnancy. You want to give them all sorts of good info, and that is where the video kicks in, because that is going to be the good times there. Let's use the Shadowland Tarot. Sounds like pretty good. That is a cute deck indeed. That is a nice little deck, that little cute thing. Oh, man. You got to tap into the cuteness overload. By the way, Monday is tarot news, and the Bumbleberry Tarot is going to be in the news again. So I would get on that. If you like cute decks, that is extremely cute indeed. I really think they went the good place to go with that. So we don't read all upside down, so we're gonna flip and go and see about a pregnancy. The six, well, actually, okay, we do have one pregnancy card in here. It's on my mainstay of pregnancy cards. High Priestess into that though. King of Wands, Seven of Swords, sort of leaving with it. All right, entertainment purposes only. Okay, Lynette, this is entertainment purposes only. You should never take any action whatsoever based upon a random dude on reading tarot on the internet. This is going to go on a weird source, but let's roll with it. Let's roll with it and see what happens. We have a Six of Cups that does talk about babies. It does talk about baby, it does talk about pregnancy. It is a children card. This is what we have here. Next to it is the High Priestess. It means some change or alteration happens, and then we have a pregnancy. The change or alteration seems like it's a different partner. The Seven of Swords is sort of a different moving along, moving out, taking what you have and getting out. It's almost like a different partner. As far as the pregnancy is concerned, we have a different partner. Again, the Seven of Swords is sort of a moving out, moving away with what we have. So we're packing up, we're getting out, and we're moving, and a different partner sort of happens with that. The King of Wands, we have a fertility thing with the possibility here of a fertility and babies. But we have the High Priestess, which sort of points to sort of this intuitive thing to where we end up following a different path or following an unusual path. So there we go. We have an unusual path that leads to the pregnancy. The unusual path involves leaving. We have a fertile person that is in the picture, and the fertile person grants the baby. So there we go. That is, again, we went on a wild ride there. And again, entertainment purposes only. Do not do anything, based upon a tarot reading. I'm just reading the cards. And this flows along with what I put in my book about different partners and alternative partners and whatnot. Six of Cups being a baby card, which you saw in the video from this week, where I talked about that, and the High Priestess and the King of Wands with the fertility of the King of Wands. If you read medical astrology, the Wands is sort of this fertility. The King of Wands is sort of the most fertile. There you go. Went on a wild ride there. A wild ride. You usually don't have readings that go on a wild ride, but that one went there. It just got on the horse and just went the opposite direction of where I was expecting it to go. But that said, that is the end of tonight. Thank you all for being here. I greatly appreciate everybody hanging out with me tonight, and I will see you tomorrow night.
Come back tomorrow. You know it's not enough that I can make you laugh. Why try to borrow even more time you never have? It's too late, too late, too late, too late. Slide down the rooftop. Slide down the rooftop. It's too late, too late, too late, too late. You'd have to